Hello everyone. In today's class we will see 8051 serial port programming or serial communication programming. So in today's class we will discuss the serial communication registers of 8051, and in the next class we will discuss how to program those registers to transfer and receive data serially. So serial communication programming. Since IBM PC or its similar kind of computers or compatible computers are widely used to communicate with 8051 based systems, so we will stress serial communications of 8051 with the COM port of the personal computer. To allow data transfer between the personal computer and an 8051 system without any error, we must make sure that the baud rate of 8051 machine, the baud rate of the PC's COM port. Some of the baud rate supported by the PC BIOS, that is basic input output system, is listed in the table. So those indicates the PC baud rate. So some of the baud rate supported by 486 Pentium IBM PC BIOS. So 110, 150, 300, 600, 1200, 2400, 4800, 9600 and 19200. These are the PC baud rates. Hyperterminal function supports baud rate much higher than the listed below. So whatever that is listed in the table, hyperterminal functions support baud rate much higher than that number. The hyperterminal program comes with the Windows. So this is an example. So how to calculate the baud rate in 8051? So in the 8051 transfer and receive data serially with the different baud rates. So the baud rate in the 8051 is programmable. So this is done with the help of timer 1. So as we know that the crystal frequency is 11.0592 megahertz, and that crystal frequency is going to be divided by 12 to get the machine cycle frequency. So that is nothing but crystal XTAL equal to 11.0592 megahertz. So when it is divided by 12, you'll get 921.6 kilohertz. So the 8051 serial communication UART circuitry divides the machine cycle crystal frequency of 921.6 kilohertz by 32. Remember this procedure. Again, this machine cycle frequency 921.6 kilohertz again divided by 32. Once again before it is used by timer 1 to set the baud rate. Therefore 921.6 kilohertz divided by 32, so that is equal to 28,800 hertz. So this is the number that we are going to use through the programming of the timer 1 to set the baud rate. So when the timer 1 is used to set the baud rate, it must be programmed in mode 2, that is 8-bit auto reload. So example here given is with extal 11.0592 megahertz, find the TH1 value needed to have the following baud rates, that is 9600, 2400 and 1200. So solution, the machine cycle frequency of 8051 is, as we know, it is 11.0592 megahertz. So divided by 12, we'll get 921.6 kilohertz. So again this 921.6 kilohertz is divided by 32, so you'll get 28,800 hertz. So this is the frequency that is used by the UART to timer 1 to set the baud rate. So first they have given 9600. So 28,800, when it is divided by 3, you'll get 9600. So where minus 3 is nothing but in hexadecimal it is FD is loaded into TH1 to get the 9600 baud rate. Similarly, to get 2400, 28,800 must be divided by 12, so you'll get 2400. So minus 12, so that is nothing but F4 in hexadecimal is loaded into TH1 register. Third one, 28,800 divided by 24, that is equal to 1200. So 24 is nothing but, here it is minus 24, you need to load E8 in hexadecimal into the TH1 register. So notice that dividing 1 upon 12 of the crystal frequency by 32 is the default value upon activation of the 8051 reset pin. So in figure wise it is shown crystal frequency 11.0592 megahertz, that is divided by 12, the whatever the result that it will get, that is nothing but 921.6 kilohertz, that is again divided by 32, but that is by UART. So you will get 28,800 hertz. So to timer 1 to set the baud rate, so the table shows the for using the baud rate of 9600, you have to load decimal value minus 3 or hexadecimal value FD. Similarly for 4800 minus 6 or FA, 2400 minus 12 or F4, for 1200 it is minus 24 or E8. So TF is set to 1 every 12 ticks. So it is it functions as a frequency divider. Next, an important register that is called as SBUF register. So SBUF is an 8-bit register that is used solely for serial communication. That means, so SBUF is a 8-bit register. Its only function in 8051 microcontroller is for serial communication. Except this, it does nothing. So for a byte of data to be transferred via the TXD line, that is transmit data line, it must be placed in the SBUF register. So whatever the byte of data, 8-bit data that you want to transfer via the TXD line, that TXD line is available on the 8051 pin. So where that data has to be placed here, the data must be placed in the SBUF register. Whatever the data that you want to transfer must be placed in the SBUF register. Similarly, SBUF holds the byte of data when it is received by the 8051 RxD line. So whenever 8051 wants to receive the data, so that data is collected in the SBUF register. That means SBUF is the common register that is used to transfer the data through TXD line and receive the data through RxD line. So this is the function of the SBUF register. Means it holds the 8-bit data which is to be transferred to or from the 8051 microcontroller. So SBUF can be accessed like any other register in the 8051. So as we have seen so many registers, and we have came across how to access the 8051 registers. So SBUF also can be accessed similar to the other registers of the 8051. For that, few examples are shown. See there, the instruction move SBUF comma hash D. D is written in a single quotation mark. That means D is a ASCII number. When it is anything, it is written in a single quotation mark, it is a ASCII number. So what it does, move SBUF comma hash quotation D, that is the ASCII value of D, that is 44H. In hexadecimal, the capital D, its value is 44H. So that is copied into the SBUF register. Means after the execution of the first instruction, SBUF register will be having 44H. For more information about what is the how that value D is equal to 44H, you can go through the ASCII table in the hexadecimal format. So you'll get all the values of capital A to Z, small a to Z, 0 to 9, etc. Whichever value that you want in hexadecimal, you can refer the table. So for capital D, it is 44H. So when you use move SBUF comma hash ASCII value D, so SBUF register will get a value 44H. Move SBUF comma A. So whatever the content of accumulator, that is copied into the SBUF register. Similar to as it is earlier said, we can use the SBUF register same as other registers. So this is an example. Then if you want to copy a SBUF register into accumulator, you can use move A comma SBUF. So this instruction does the content of SBUF register is loaded or copied into the accumulator. So SBUF is a 8-bit register that is used for serial communication, that is to transmit the data and to receive the data through SBUF register. Next register is SCON register. So SCON is also an 8-bit register that is used to program the start bit, stop bit and data bits of data framing, among other things. So as we have seen, the data has to be framed and it should consist of a start bit and stop bit. So this is done with the help of SCON register. So SCON register is also a 8-bit register and it is used to program the start bit, stop bit and the data bits of the data framing, among the others. The figure shows various bits of the SCON register. So as we came to know that SCON register is a 8-bit register. So all the 8 bits of SCON is shown. So SCON is a bit addressable register. So single bits also you can access. So SM0, SM1, SM2, REN, TB8, RB8, TI and RI. These are the bits in the SCON register. SM0 also can be accessed like SCON 0.7. So as it is a bit addressable register, SCON 0.7, SCON 0.6, SCON 0.5 up to SCON 0.0. Like this register bits can be accessible. So SM0 and SM1 are the serial port mode specifier. Out of these 8 bits, remember that SM2, TB8 and RB8 are not mostly used. That's why that is equal to 0. So SM2 is nothing but it is used for multiprocessor communication. So we are not using multiprocessor communication environment here. That's why it has to be made 0. Then TB8 and RB8 also not widely used. That's why make it 0. Then REN. REN is it is set cleared by a software to enable disable reception. So receive enable, REN is nothing but it is a receive enable. It is used to set and cleared by the software method to enable or the disable reception. That is receiving the data or receiving data is enabled or it is set or cleared by using a program. TI, it is transmit interrupt flag. So it is set by hardware at the begin of the stop bit mode 1 and also it can be cleared by the software. Then RI is receive interrupt flag, so set by hardware at the begin of the stop bit mode 1 and it is cleared by software. So we are interested here in SM0, SM1, REN, TI and RI bits. So these are this ESCON register is a serial port control register and it is bit addressable, remember it. So we will discuss how to use the bits within the ESCON register. The first is SM0 and SM1. So SM0 and SM1, these are the serial mode bits. 00, when you load 00 into SM0 and SM1, it is serial mode 0. 01, that is serial mode 1, it is nothing but a 8-bit data, 1 stop bit and 1 start bit. So only mode 1 is we are interested in. So we are going to use the data 01, that is mode 1. So because it is a serial mode, 8-bit data, 1 stop bit and 1 start bit. So we are transmitting and receiving the 8-bit data with the 1 stop bit and 1 start bit. So we are using this mode of programming. So they determine the framing of data by specifying the number of bits per character and the start and stop bits. So 00 is mode 0, 01 is serial mode 1, 10 is serial mode 2 and 11 is serial mode 3. So as we have already discussed, out of these 4 serial modes, only mode 1 we are interested in, because others are very rarely used. In the ESCON register, when serial mode 1 is chosen, the data framing is 8 bits. It consists of 1 stop bit and 1 start bit, which makes it compatible with the COM port of the IBM compatible PCs. Other than this, serial mode 1, it also allows the baud rate to be variable. That is, whatever the baud rate we have seen, that different baud rates can be used. So that is done by set by the timer 1 of the 8051. So in serial mode 1, so out of each 1 byte, each character or a total of 10 bits are transferred. That is 8 bits data, 1 start bit and 1 stop bit. So first bit is the start bit and the last bit is the stop bit. So it transfers first the start bit, then it transfers the 8-bit data, then last or finally 1 stop bit. SM2, this enables multiprocessing capability of the 8051. As we are not using multiprocessing capability, SM2 must be 0. SM2 is the D5 bit of the ESCON register. It has to be made equal to 0. REN, next bit in the ESCON register is REN. REN is the receive enable. So it is a bit addressable register. That's why you can also access it using ESCON point 4. So REN is a D4 of the ESCON register. The REN bit is also can be referred as ESCON point 4 since it is bit addressable register. So when REN bit is high, that is receive enable bit is equal to 1, it allows the 8051 to receive data on the RxD pin of the 8051. So as this REN bit is equal to 1, what it does is it allows whatever the data that is transferred from the outside, that is going to be received on the 8051, that is to the microcontroller RxD pin. So it enables the receive operation. So as a result of this, the 8051 both transfer and receive data, REN must be set equal to 1. If you make REN is equal to 0, the receive is disabled. Making if you make REN is equal to 1 or REN equal to 0, that can be done with the help of software. That is, the instruction used here is to set that is to make REN equal to 1, set bit SETB SCON 0.4, and to clear the REN, that is REN equal to 0, is achieved by using the instruction CLR SCON 0.4. So as already I have told you that it is a bit addressable register, that's why these instruction use bit addressable feature of the 8051 SCON register. So this bit can be used to block any serial data reception, and it is an extremely important bit in the SCON register. So REN bit can be used to block any serial reception. If you make REN is equal to 0, it blocks the reception, serial data reception, it will be blocked. So it's an extremely important bit in the SCON register. So as I already told, TB8 and RB8 bits are not used, so they are made equal to 0. Next bit is TI. TI is a transmit interrupt. TI is nothing but a transmit interrupt. It is the D1 bit of the SCON register. So this is an extremely important flag bit in the SCON register again, that is transmit interrupt. When 8051 finishes the transfer of the 8-bit character, it raises TI flag to indicate that it is ready to transfer another byte. So what it does, whenever 8051 completes or finishes the transfer of any 8-bit character, this TI flag will be raised to 1. It is indicated that it is ready to transfer the one more byte of data. So the TI bit is raised at the beginning of the stop bit. So when we do the programming, we will come to know about this TI flag. And the last one is arrive, that is receive interrupt. So receive interrupt is the D0 bit of the SCON register. So this is another extremely important flag bit in the SCON register. So whenever the 8051 receives data serially via receive data, that is RxD pin, it get rid of the start and stop bits and places the byte in the SBUF register. That means, so whenever the 8051 data is received via this RxD pin, that is receive data pin, so it will get rid of those two extra bits, that is start bits and stop bits. So those are actually not the data. So those bits are going to be get rid of from the actual data, and only the actual data, that is 1 byte, is placed in the SBUF register without the start and stop bits. So it is used for getting rid of the start and stop bits. Then it raises the RI flag, that is it raises the receive interrupt flag bit to indicate that a byte has been received. That means it acts as an acknowledgement. It sends the it raises the flag so that it is the indication of the receiving the data. And it should be picked up before it is lost. So whatever the data that is received in the SBUF register, that must be picked up before it is lost. So RI is raised halfway through the stop bit. Remember here, RI is raised, its flag is equal to 1 through the halfway through the stop bit. So while doing the programming, we will come to know that how it is doing. Thank you for watching the video.